So good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Dangler?
Here.
Mr. Vieira?
Here.
Mrs. Wittes? Absent. Dr. Selly?
Here.
Dr. Vogt?
Here.
I hereby certify that this meeting has been published in the newspaper and adequate and electronic notice has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and the New Jersey Administrative Code Title V, Chapter 39, Section 1.5, Notice of Remote Public Meetings as required by law.
Good, thank you. So I'm going to make a request to everybody, just in starting off, we have a packed agenda. So if we could all be mindful of time, hopefully we'll be able to get through everything and, you know, with each item having its fair share of time. So with that, we actually are starting two things tonight. One is a report, well, we had started this before, a report from our Environmental Commission and our Green Team. And you know that we're bringing in the different boards and different commissions to hear what some of the work that's being done, the accomplishments, the challenges, so that we can make sure that we're aligned with everything. So with that, and just a reminder too, we're asking that those presentations be limited to 10 minutes, and I'm sure you have a lot to present. So I'm going to turn it over to Michelle. And is Kathy on to do the Green Team, or Rich, are you doing the Green Team? Or Michelle? Yeah, okay. So with that, welcome. Thank you for taking the time to come and join us. And we're looking forward to hearing some updates about both the Environmental Commission and the Green Team. So it's all yours, Michelle.
Thank you, Anita. And thank you everyone for having us here tonight. I'm here with Catherine. She and I have been co-chairing lately the Environmental Commission, and Rich Cantonese is here to represent the Green Team. So Catherine and I collaborated today, and we discussed a few things about the objectives of the Environmental Commission. I don't know if I can share. Oh, I think I can. We did put together a slide.
Should be able to share. I could share. But I didn't load it.
Will, is it set up for Michelle to share?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I don't know why I can't figure it out. Oh wait, that's why. I don't know, Catherine, can you share it or no?
I think I can. I should be able to. Just give me a sec. You should be able to see a green slide with the Long Branch Environmental Commission objectives.
Yep, yeah. We can see it.
Perfect. Go ahead, Michelle.
Okay, so our goals, our main objective is to increase the livability of Long Branch and improve the quality of life through environmental improvements. And some of these categories include continuing to work towards climate change mitigation and adaptation as appropriate, and a few ideas that we are currently exploring and working on as future goals are potentially looking into a community solar farm to use, because there are some brownfields that have been identified within the city, and creating more rain gardens throughout the city as well. Another one of our focuses is cleaner air and less noise. And something that actually will be a discussion at our upcoming meeting is to consider an ordinance to potentially switch from gas-powered yard appliances to electrical yard appliances, and potentially consider quiet times in maybe certain neighborhoods throughout the city. Another point that we've been talking about a lot is safer walking and biking, such as bike lanes, sidewalks, in particular with new construction projects throughout the city, and maybe work on some of the brush pickup that it has been obstructing bike lanes around the city and causing some potential issues. And Catherine, I'll let you get into the improved green spaces, since the plants and native trees are right up your alley.
We've been working with Nick Graviano on a tree ordinance, and I believe Rose Wittes also was an impetus for that. We haven't seen the results of that, but we're going to continue to work on improved green spaces, including more plants, more native plants, fewer invasive species, and organizing invasive cleanups, and continue to work on our other green space improvement projects like dune protection, the restoration of Whale Pond Brook, and maybe Lake Takanasi that Mayor Pallone and I discussed a couple of years ago. And of course, continuing with our plastic reduction education. Anything else, Michelle?
I think for right now, that encompasses the bulk of it. We've also been working side by side with the green team that has been very active, which has been amazing throughout the pandemic, which obviously has been a challenge for our groups. So I'm going to turn it over to Rich, and he can go over the green team objectives as well.
Right. Thank you, Michelle. And so I'm presenting on behalf of the entire green team, and Annette Benanti, who I hope has been able to join. She's been the co-chair. She's actually been the chair of the green team before I joined for many years, and has done a terrific job. So you'll see some overlap with the objectives as we work very closely and are supported by the EC. So I'll just go through those quickly. But to start, the first bullet point is talking to the environmental resource inventory, which is a document that tracks our natural resources. It was last completed in 2010 and became part, and is still part, of our master plan. In the last 10, 11 years, a lot of things have changed. So we applied for a grant, and we're lucky enough to get it. And with that grant, we're partnering with an engineering firm to update the environmental resource inventory. It'll take about 10 months. When we're done, we'll present it to the council and the mayor with the intent of updating the master plan with the new ERI. Second bullet point, talking about energy efficiency for municipal buildings. Another grant we were able to secure via Sustainable Jersey was to bring a consultant in to help us get our arms around how energy is being used in our municipal buildings. So one thing that we were able to do before he left is put in a tracking and monitoring system that'll give us a baseline of how much gas and electricity we use. Next step is to work with the utility companies on a program that exists in New Jersey, where they could bring in people to kind of assess energy usage in our buildings and make recommendations on how to improve efficiency. The cost of those recommendations are underwritten by the utility companies up to 80%. So it's no cost to have them do the assessment. They'll come back with some recommendations, no obligation to do those. But if we do implement them, we would share in the cost. Michelle talked about flooding impacts through stormwater management. In addition to the advocating for rain gardens, we actually held some rain barrel workshops in Jackson Woods that were pretty well intended, ended up with 15 rain barrels being made by residents of Long Branch. We talked about pedestrian cycling improvements. Green Team's been participating on a committee headed by Anita Voigt, and some recommendations will be forthcoming there. And then in terms of Green Team partnering with some other organizations, we work very closely with Kathy Buchan and the Friends of Jackson Woods, and they've made just tremendous progress. There've been a couple of grants issued there. One will be used to put in a message center in a new native garden. A second grant from the DOT is being used to remove the invasive plants and vines, or at least make a cut at it. There's a tremendous amount of work to be done there. But with this grant, we were able to buy equipment and actually hire youth workers to come in and perform the work. They're being supervised by members of the green team. Next slide, please, Catherine.
Sure.
And we also partner with the Whale Pond Brook Watershed Association. They're doing a lot of great work there. So finally, a couple of things that we're looking at for next year. One is to see if we can implement a green business recognition program, which is actually a sustainable Jersey action. We would need to do that, of course, in collaboration with the city. We'd like to start planning on that. We're also working, and I think it was just announced that in collaboration with the GLC school, setting up some sneaker recycling bins. So rather than throw out sneakers, people can contribute them to the bin and they'll be reused or repurposed. And the final point is, as always, we manage the Sustainable Jersey certifications. Presently, we're bronze level. We're inching towards silver. We just made a new submission that, again, hopefully, and we'll get feedback in a week or so, hopefully will get us closer to the silver level. We don't think we've made silver, so we'll likely remain at bronze for the remainder of this year into next year. That's it. Thank you.
Great. Excellent. Excellent information. I have just I have a few thoughts. It would be real, I'm speaking personally right now, it'd be really helpful if you have minutes from your meetings for, maybe to send them into Heather, the city clerk, or make them available to us so that we could keep track of some of these things, because it looks like you have a whole lot on the agenda here. And then the next thing is just also, again, to check with Heather on your membership. Just a quick glance, Heather had put a list together, and just to make sure everybody's term is current, and if people need to be, reappointed, to let Heather know so that can be addressed. I can see this kind of project moving forward, that if we could use this, and if you could provide this information for Heather to include in the minutes, for the next time you come back to us, and I don't know, 6 to 9 months or whatever, we can see some of the progress on these particular itemized initiatives that you have. So great job. Let me ask if anybody has any questions, any comments?
I have a question.
Good.
Michelle, you mentioned solar paneling. Where would the possibility locations?
Well, right now, the main area that's been identified is the brownfield on Long Branch Avenue. And I know that some of the green team and maybe Rose Wittes has reached out to you and had conversation about that.
Yes.
We do understand that it's not something that can happen immediately, and it does require some time to pass in order to maybe explore that. But as of right now, that one particular site has been the topic of recent conversation.
Well, just to give you an update, I did speak as a chair of the committee. I did speak to the gas company, and that would possibly be a problem, even if it was possible, it'd be a while, but a problem because the cap, which is 2 foot down, that could not be disturbed. And I don't know how far, you go down to do with the paneling. So I don't want to use the wrong terms, but that would be one of the concerns.
Of course. I mean, it's just an idea between Green Team and Environmental Commission at recent meetings that we've been discussing. And, if that is ultimately not the appropriate use for that site, maybe we could come up with something different for that site and start to identify other locations throughout the city.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
I think someone else started to say something.
Well, Anita, it was me. I just wanted to, first off, I just wanted to thank Rich, Catherine, and Michelle for all they do for both the Environmental Commission and the Green Team. You just do a great job all the time, and you're always there. I spoke with Michelle and then Heather today, which about the appointments and the reappointments. So that's kind of taken care of. And Rich, I just wanted to tell you, if you ever want to get together with that green business recognition, I think that's a great idea. So whenever you want to talk about that, let me know.
Great, thank you.
Wonderful.
Rich, Michelle, Kathy, great job. Thanks for all you do for the city. There is one item that I was I don't know how I feel about it with lawnmowers and weed whackers. I don't know how that's going to work out. You know what I mean? Because every homeowner has a regular lawnmower to cut the grass or a weed whacker. And we start eliminating those, and you have cars out there that create a lot more pollution than a regular weed whacker or lawnmower that the homeowner uses maybe 1 hour a week. You know what I mean?
Excuse me,
So-
but the data is fairly conclusive that 1 hour of leaf blowing, especially, or lawn mowing, produces 8 times the greenhouse emissions and much more fine particle pollution than driving your car for 1 hour. It's very bad for asthmatics.
Kathy, I'm not disagreeing with that. I just told you how I felt with that. That's it.
Thank you for your feelings.
Okay, that's all. I'm not agreeing with that. I don't do the studies. I don't do any of that stuff. You know, I mean, I know I have a couple of properties and I use a 48-inch Bobcat lawnmower to cut the properties, and it's pretty hard to find something like that by the operating. That's all I'm trying to point.
Okay, good. Thank you for the comments. I'm going to jump in again, just time-wise. Our thanks to Michelle, Kathy, Rich, and to be revisited in a few months, and we'll see what progress has been made. Many thanks for all the work that you're doing.
Thank you
Thanks.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. Next on the agenda, old business, of which we don't have anything listed, but for new business, we will not do the Hometown Heroes because Councilwoman Wittes isn't here. So I'm turning it over to Councilwoman Stelly for the 2021 beach report.
Okay, what I asked for was for the beach and pool results, which I think everybody received a copy. And also there was a fact sheet prepared about the ocean rescue, which I think is very informative. I believe Stan is on, and if he wants to add anything to it, please do.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Sally. Good evening, everyone. This is the Long Branch Ocean Rescue end of season report for 2021. I'll be as fast as I can. It's pretty brief. City employed 161 lifeguards this season. Our daily staffing, we had 95 lifeguards on duty, 3 EMTs, 3 zone captains, and 2 beach managers. Over the course of the season, we had 25 stands open between Seaview Avenue and Park Avenue. We were contracted out by the Borough of Deal, Long Branch Public Schools, Ocean Place Resort, Wave Hotel, Renaissance, Harbor Management Villas, and Imperial House condominiums. As far as the first aid goes, we had 71 major medical alerts. We had 1,107 minor medical aids. Our water rescues this year were 551. Our preventions were 4,171. And our code enforcement, talking to people, holes in the sand, whatever went on that way, smoking on the beaches, things like that, dogs, 2,339. That's all I have.
Stan, great job with the beach as always.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah,
Same here, Stan.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
absolutely. Stan, just one observation also, and I don't know how you could do this, but is there any way that some measure for the accessible beach? That's such a great accomplishment for Long Branch. I'm not sure how it can work in, but as I was reading through the report, I was just thinking about it. So I'm mentioning it if there's any way to capture any data.
Okay.
And I'll just leave it at that.
We have it on another report. I have a major report that I have that I can get to you and show you.
Oh, great. Good.
I try to customize this today to keep the time down a little bit.
Okay. Good.
Congratulations to the entire beach staff.
Thank you.
From all of us.
Thank you. I'll let them know.
Okay. Thank you, Stan. Thank you, Councilwoman Selly. The next presentation, just some explanation of our celebrations of the diversity month with the resolutions that we're doing. And for that, I'd like Heather just to give us a little update, because she's the one who's really been putting in the time working with a few other people in the administration. So Heather, just a quick overview of what we're doing there.
So each month there will be a presentation at a council meeting on different heritage. Various students of the Long Branch school system will be participating by reading these resolutions during the presentation portion of the meeting. Council President Vogt will read a bio. I've been getting little bios of the students so that we can learn a little bit about them before they read the resolutions.
And the students are all in Nikisha's with the library?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's obviously part, thank you, Heather, that part of the whole kind of celebration of diversity in our city, and wanting to include youth, our youth somehow with that. So we'll see how it goes. We have our first one tonight for Italian Heritage Month. So that should be kind of fun. So thank you, Heather. Next on the agenda, review the regular meeting. Any comments?
I'm good, Anita.
No comments.
Okay.
Yes.
Mary Jane, you all right with the regular agenda? Any questions?
I have a question. I'm concerned as to why there were only 2 people that applied for the Cablevision, came for an interview, and what happened to the Mr. McGlennon? Did he refuse to come?
Heather, you want to answer that? You're muted, Heather.
He sent an email saying that he was unavailable and that he didn't realize that it was a volunteer board. So I don't know if he's not interested anymore. And he was saying that the job that he's in now, he's going to be busy Wednesdays and Thursdays and sometimes Tuesdays. He doesn't know how often they meet or what nights they meet. So he doesn't know if he's going to be able to do it now.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else? Okay.
Oh.
So now I need a motion to close the public portion of the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to adopt a resolution to go into executive session for the following items. Personnel matters, Cable Commission, these will be interviews of the 2 candidates. Next is the administration department, and Administrator Jackson will take us through that. An attorney-client privilege, it'll be the zoning ordinance, again, in relation to cannabis, Attorney Rainone. Bucky James Community Center, Attorney Rainone. Donation of police department, to the police department, Director Saldidis. Sale of city-owned property, Attorney Rainone. Negotiation of redevelopment agreement for the Jamal Star of the Sea School, and again, it'll be Attorney Rainone. And I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?